second. But I'm going to go ahead and get this content warning out the way. EDP365 covers topics with explicit and strong language and is intended for mature audiences only. Topics may be sensitive to some, and everyday people may not agree with the views expressed during this discussion, but please keep in mind, we'll give you the point of view of everyday people with everyday situations. And EDP365 is not afraid to go there.
All right, y'all, and we're not. Not ready to go there. All right, so those of you who don't, no, you're not doing that tonight.
What? What are we doing?
Really? Trying to do the opening here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Les.
And I am Chris Styles, and we're Everyday People 365 on Facebook Live.
All right, so we're not being rude to the guests. Y'all know this is what we do first. You know, we do our pre-show stuff, and then we'll introduce our guests. But we only have one guest because this one over here on the end, to my right, she's an honorary co-host. So y'all know Sandra already. You know, she did the takeover a couple of weeks ago, and so
she took over.
Yeah, so she took over our show, and yeah, I don't have to introduce her. So here we go, y'all. So I don't have a wine tip for tonight, so we're just gonna take some wine, and then it's something else I want to do. So tonight, y'all, we are drinking O'Connelly's Strawberry Country Cream. Now, last week was kind of a flop. I didn't like the wine that we had last week, and so I was like, let me get something that I really want, because I think it was just like a random pick. And so now let me see if I like this. Yeah, I can do this.
It didn't taste like what you thought it looked like.
That's not.
All right.
It doesn't taste like that.
So,
It is delicious.
It is. It's very good.
Well, I will down just a tad, so you all can move down the chat, because we still can't see.
you know what? It's not,
We didn't
it's not too bad. I know if I had an ice cube or two, it'd be good.
Well, I asked you all, did
She
you
did.
want ice?
She did.
She did. She
I'm just saying,
asked
but it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
All right, so let me do this real quick. So, this is my new t-shirt, y'all. I got to come up to the screen so y'all can see how it glistens. Look at that. It twinkle and glisten. Boss. You can get you a boss shirt too, y'all. So, I love this shirt. It's so pretty with all the pretty colors. It looks like I'm really blending into all of Sandra's viewers.
Yes.
Boss, this is really cute. You can get you a shirt too. Just hit me up. Let me know you're interested in getting you a boss shirt. So that's that. But let me tell y'all this. I'm big on customer service. Let me show y'all the shirt I ordered just recently. Let me show y'all this shirt.
What you got? What you got?
It says Hustlerette.
Yes.
And so if you can see it, it kind of glitters.
I love
And
it.
it's so cute. I love it. So let me show it to y'all over here. Hustlerette. This is a great shirt. It's really, really cute. I love it. So, here it is, y'all. So I ordered this shirt. I get it this weekend, and I found out that it does not fit me. This does not work for Les. And so I reached out to the owner of the company, and her name is Nakisa Tinsley.
Yes.
So I reached out to her today. I was like, hey, you know, the shirt is really cute. It's nice. I got it. I said, but I'm going to have to give this to my daughter. This is a little too small for me. Guess what she did, y'all? Instantaneously. Not a day later, not a week later, within a few minutes, she sent me a text and said, don't worry, Les, I got you. I'm going to send you a bigger size.
Oh,
So
wow.
I said,
Nice.
well, how can I get this other shirt back to you? She goes, don't worry about it. I got you. Don't worry about sending it back. So I'm excited to be getting my new shirt. My daughter likes this one. And so the name of the company is Tinsley Screen Printing and Embroidery. And so I'm going to bring this up to the screen so y'all can see it. This is her card. You can't really see it because it's backwards. But her telephone number is 770-728. This is her card, you all. So her telephone number is 770-728-3081. Her email is tinsleyspco@gmail.com, and that's tinsleyspco@gmail.com. Go to her Instagram. Her Instagram is @tinsleyspco. Again, SPCO. So I thank her so much. Like I said, I'm so big on customer service. Jeez Louise. Let me start this action. So again, I am really, really big on customer service. So y'all support what she's doing. Her shirts are amazing. She has hats, all kinds of stuff. So I love it. So kudos to her and her great customer service. All right. So I will turn it over.
Pass me her card. I'll put it in here.
Okay. Thank you. I will turn it over to Chris. And hey, y'all, share the video. We love you all to share the video so other folks can see what's going on and we can support and promote each other. Chris?
First, I want to say everybody stay healthy, be safe out there. Again, follow all the instructions for the coronavirus and all that good stuff. I really didn't want to give it no energy or anything like that, but since it's a popular topic that people are talking about, I just had to throw that in there. Now we're going to get to the meat and potatoes. We had the dessert meat and potatoes. Here it comes, y'all. This evening we have
real quick. Real quick. Y'all was down there doing it. Don't start. Don't show off. I do want to say this real quick. A special shout out to my friend, my new friend. We're growing and I'm loving her. We're dating. Not really though. We're not dating for real. But we hang out. And so I want to thank Sandra for calling me up today. Yeah. I want to thank Sandra for calling me up today. She's like, hey, Les, I can come out. I can set my ID up. We can promote this gentleman, get him out there to some other folks. So I greatly appreciate Sandra. I greatly appreciate the friendship that she and I are building. And we are not dating for somebody thinks that. We are both strictly. So we're both strictly. So I just want to thank Sandra because it's nothing like connecting and promoting. Sandra and I talk all the time, and we always talk about people building each other up. And I will give her credit since she's come into my life. And I actually reached out to her initially, but she's been very supportive of what both Chris and I do. And so again, I just want to thank her for coming on tonight and supporting our guests and supporting EDP365. I love you, friend.
I love you
You're so
too,
amazing.
and you are more than welcome. I love you guys. I don't know the guests yet, but he was cool being a sandwich, so you can't go wrong there. But no, I really wanted to, anytime we have somebody in the Black community that's a motivational speaker or an author, I really want to, get them in front of my people as well, because I think it's important that we showcase us. You know how I am about us, and definitely with authors and motivational speakers and people that have a story that could touch somebody else's life and potentially change their life.
Right.
And I don't know anything about you. I haven't did any research on you tonight, and normally I do that before I do anything, but I was like, we good.
Trust me, you're gonna learn a lot tonight.
That's why I didn't do my research, because I knew he was gonna bring it. I felt it. I looked at his picture. I knew he had it in the bag.
All right, I'm sorry, Chris. You got it.
No problem at all. This evening, I want to introduce you guys to a great man, a great motivator, a community man, a man in the community. Brings a lot of inspiration. He's a leader. He's definitely trying to change the direction of everybody's life, to bring purpose. He's a group facilitator. He's a speaker, and now author. And I think one of the most greatest things this evening that I do want to say is that as we move forward in our lives, we always talk about forgiveness. Well, we talk about second chances. And, when I heard this man's story and just being about that, he's definitely about second chances. Not that you need to do something in advance to have a second chance, but, everybody deserves to have a second chance to be forgiven and move forward from the things that they've done in the past. And, your past does not always hold you captive in what you're doing as far as you moving forward in the future. So this evening, I would like to introduce you to group facilitator, author, and motivational speaker, Mr. Clinton Dukes Jr. All right, so
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Look, this is the March month of men, and each week I will present somebody that's coming on the show who's doing some things in the community. Somebody who's doing something positive, and this is why I had to have this man on the show. I mean, it's definitely coming from, they call it from zero to hero. So this is the man right here.
Nice.
So, Mr. Dukes, I would like you to tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into what you're doing right now, your foundation, the toy drive, and also what you completed writing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my name's Clinton Dukes. I am from a little small town called Portsmouth, Virginia. P-Town.
P-Town in the house.
I am the only child of 2 alcoholic parents, and I used to always witness my father beating my mom all the time. And so the early death, my mom's death at an early age, kind of propelled me to drugs and alcohol because the pain was so great. And I always had a group of guys that were around me who wanted to take drugs and to give them to me. So that's how I kind of associated how you deal with life, is that you use drugs and alcohol.
Mm.
And eventually, that lifestyle led to homelessness. It led to incarcerations. It led to the loss of family, loved ones, opportunities, education opportunities. It just led to loss, hopelessness, despair, the whole 9 yards.
Absolutely. And Clinton, your book, he's written a book called Out of Egypt. Would you be able to talk to the listeners or tell them about what the concept, how you brought about the concept and what it's about?
Yeah, Out of Egypt. I've been doing that a long time. Sometimes I write on Facebook. Years ago, I used to write try inspirational things, and I would always end it with Out of Egypt. And a lot of people didn't know what that meant until I explained it to them. Out of Egypt is a biblical commentary. It's not a religious teaching, but it's coming from the Bible. It's about the Israelites who were in bondage to Egypt for hundreds and hundreds of years, and I try to apply it in our life because in our life there could be many Egypts. They were in bondage to the Egyptians, but my Egypt was drugs. My Egypt was alcohol. For some it could be sex. For some it could be work. For some it could be whatever. So Out of Egypt is about coming out of those things that hold us bondage.
Yes.
That hold us, that tie us, so that we can't be free, that we can't move, that we can't have our purpose. So those are the things that are Egypt. So my book and my life is about coming out of Egypt. The process of coming out, the time after coming out, and trying to stay out.
Right. And I know one thing I can say for myself is that you don't have discipline. And if you don't walk that straight and narrow, you'll always be caught up in Egypt. You'll be stuck in Egypt.
So how did you get to the point, or at what point in your life you were like, okay, I'm done with this, no more drugs, no more alcohol, I can't go back to prison? What was that moment like? What happened?
People ask me that all the time because I grew up in the church, and there was a period in my life where I was a licensed ordained minister, and so none of that stopped me from going back to jail, going back to prison, going back to drugs. So God was still the same, the word was still the same, the consequences were still the same. All of these things were still the same, and I kept going back. So people ask me, well, what is different this time? And I really had to think about it, and I really had to look, and there's really only one thing that I could think about. Of all the pain that has been accumulated in my life from things that I've experienced and the things that I've done, just mountains of pain. So right now, when I go through something, and I have a desire to go back to Egypt, or a desire to drink, or whatever the case may be, anytime a desire like that comes to me, I just look back and I see all that pain still behind me. So that mountain of pain has become greater than my desire to go back to it. So I just keep it right there.
So when you say that, because I work with women who are incarcerated, and when I'm going through my class with them and I have the conversations, this is what I get a lot. I'm scared. I'm scared I'm going to go home and I'm going to start using again. The people that I'm going to be around are using. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. What can I tell them?
That's a good question, because fear is always, people say don't be afraid and don't be feared, but fear is a tool. Fear can either hinder you or motivate you. And sometimes when I have an opportunity to share with people who are incarcerated, I always tell them that to use your situation, whatever your past. For example, for me, I had a felony. I had all this stuff in my past that was hindering me. It was hindering me from moving forward. It was hindering me from getting jobs. It was hindering me, from being productive in society. And then there was a revelation came to me because I gave myself an opportunity. I don't care what I'm going through. Today I'm not going to drink. Today I'm not going to use. Just do it today. And then a revelation came to me is that, well, if you use your past to help someone else, doors will open for you that you can't open. Because I needed a job, I needed education, I needed to go to school, I needed to do all these things, and I couldn't do all these things because of my past. But when I took my past, because they all became stumbling blocks, but I took control over my past and made them stepping stones. I placed them where they should be. That's my past. I used it. So once you start using your past, I started using my past. I would go share this here, and I go share this there. I would go tell people about my story because it's mine. I could talk about smoking crack because I don't smoke crack no more. I could talk about going to prison because I don't go to prison no more. But I couldn't talk about those things if I was still in it.
Right.
So that is really a revelation that has came to me, that people who have history, people who have, I don't care, it doesn't have to be drugs and alcohol. It could be spousal abuse. It could be sexual abuse. It could be whatever it is. It can be used as a tool to help somebody else if you're not in it anymore.
Now, Clinton, one thing I can say is that I attest to that. I have, some of my friends in Philadelphia, Maryland, and Delaware have felonies, and they have seemed to never get over that obstacle. It seemed like they were stuck in that place where they were in that victim place, and they never were able to get over that hurdle. I personally, I got into trouble after high school when I was doing some good things, and a few things happened, and it caused a lot of turmoil in me. So therefore, I did, some things that I shouldn't have done. I got into some things, and there was that time when, you had that record, or you had something that came there, and I didn't allow that to define me and stop me from doing what I needed to do. So I commend you on being able or finding a way to do that. And also in your book, Out of Egypt, you talked about, the pain of your mother's death and the guilt.
Chris, before you go, I just want to add one thing before we totally move away from what we're talking about. But there's this documentary, it's called Omar and Pete. And it's about these two guys in Baltimore, and it takes you through them coming out of prison or what have you. And so I don't want to get their names mixed up, but one guy, he's out and he's on the straight and narrow. He's out here, he's working, he's doing his thing, got married, whole nine. But then the other guy, they're friends and they've been friends for years, and his struggle is a lot different. Where he comes out and he gets back involved with drugs, and it just repeats itself over and over. He goes to not counseling, what's the word I'm looking for, into recovery, and then he comes out and he's good and he falls back into the trap. So just to piggyback off of what you said, Chris, is I commend you as well to be able to get past those things. I've seen so many people who face adversities, have those obstacles, and they just can't seem to move beyond that point where they're incarcerated, can't get away from the drugs, can't get away from the alcohol. That's a big, big challenge.
Yeah, and I don't want to get it twisted. I was one of those people. He read it. My criminal history starts back in 1989. So I was in and out. People, why you keep going to prison? Why you keep going to jail? You got this. You so much this. You so this that, and people just can't understand. Well, why would you do this if you have this? Why would you do that if you're this? Why keep going back to jail? Keep going back to prison, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the situations, regardless of the consequences. You throw all that aside and you still go back. So when people fall, I have to be mindful that, you know, this guy fell 800 times. Okay, well, I fell 8,000 times.
Right.
You know? So I have to be, and sometimes I can get frustrated with certain people. I'd be speaking to jail sometimes, and you know, I see a guy come back, and I'm like, well, hey, you came back 1,000 times. So the same grace and mercy that was applied in your life, who are you not to apply to someone else?
Okay.
Because it took some love and forgiveness that had to be applied. Because I burned a lot of bridges. All family members gone and everything. So it was just really some grace and mercy that was applied to my life to allow me the opportunity to even see a glimmer of hope to hold on to.
And I don't know, obviously I didn't want to make this a repetitive thing, but I would tell you, when I read in your book, you were talking about how, you know, the pain from your mother's death, and there was a lot of circumstances that happened to you and you faced. It's like every time you took a step, 2 steps forward, something would happen and knock you 5 steps back, 10 steps back, and you kept trying to move forward and kept knocking you back. And in reference to that, like my sister passed away in the early 90s from she was a chronic diabetic, and she was in a relationship, she was in an abusive domestic relationship with someone. When I went back to college and I wasn't there to protect her or keep him away, not saying that she didn't have any part to play, because she probably took him back in that process. He was the direct cause of her passing away because of the stress and just the shit that he was doing with and to her at that point in time. And I carried that guilt and that pain for so long, in addition to some other things, that I started to hurt and abuse other people. And I think for myself, it was very important for me to find that place, find that peace within myself at some point in time. I don't remember when it came, but when it came, it was like a burden that I was carrying for all those many years was took off my shoulder. Would you be able to tell the listeners how important it is to find that peace and move forward?
Wow. You said a mouthful there. The word peace in itself. Peace had to be very important because I didn't have a level of peace in my life, which is one of the reasons why I stayed out so much. Even though certain outer conditions might have changed, I might have got a job, I might have had a good girl, I might have got free. You know, conditions were better, but there was still no peace.
Right.
And so, you know, there's an old saying: if you do the same things, you get the same results. So you know, and so for me, my mom's death, the lack of peace with that, it was so great. You know, she died in 1989, and this is what, 2020. I just went to my mother's grave for the first time, like in 2015, about 5 years ago. First time going back to my mother's grave. And even though many times I use it because, as I said, you know, I take my pain and I use it as a tool to help others. That is the greatest pain that I've ever been through. And even to this day, no matter how many times I talk about it, I still feel it. I still feel it. But when peace, for me, peace was able to be obtained when I was able to learn what to be grateful for. Because there could be a lot of things going on in life. There could be a lot of storms. There are a lot of people now who are going through a lot of things, you know, economically, socially, physically, spiritually, everything. And if we can find reasons to be grateful, you know, Lord, they say that I'm sick, but I'm grateful that I'm alive. I'm grateful that I have an opportunity to go see a doctor. I'm grateful that I have family that will look out for me. I'm grateful that I still have a job. If you're able to do that, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the storm, if you're able to be grateful in the storm, you can have peace in it. Because storms aren't always going to move out your life. Sometimes storms are there to teach, to guide, to correct, to direct, and that's not going to always change. But if you can have peace in the storm, then you can get through the storm and learn what you need to learn in it instead of repeating the same stuff over again. Because that's main thing. One of the main things that always happened to me, and you read it in my book about how most things that led me back to drugs and alcohol were based on storms. Couldn't get a job, people right, children, kids not in the right.
Can I say this real quick? Oh my gosh, I had a conversation with these ladies, and a lot of them are recovering addicts, and when you said that, this made me think of what something they said. They said, you know what? Everything was a reason to celebrate, and drugs was the form of celebration.
Yes.
Didn't get a job,
Yes.
get high.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Got a new job,
Yeah.
got high.
Yes.
Boyfriend broke up with me, got high. Got a new car, got high.
Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, you gotta be willing. You gotta be willing to play the tape. And these are things that people say all the time, and I can repeat it as true. But there have been times that I knew this information and still did the same thing. So it's just true. It is true as true can be, because when you go through those things, this is what they say in some of the programs, in some of the rooms of AA and NA. They said the good news is you get your feelings back. The bad news is you get your feelings back. See, and people like me, we didn't know how to handle feelings because we're always covering up with drugs, covering up with alcohol. Then when you give yourself an opportunity where the drugs are no longer in your body and you still have to live, people are still gonna live, people are still gonna die, you still gotta be paid bills. Just because you decided to stop using doesn't mean life's not gonna show up. So you have to be able to manage your feelings.
So can we go back some? Because when you walk in the door, you said, "Give me the tough questions. Ask me anything." So in your bio, it says you were forced to live with an alcoholic father whom you hated. How old were you, and what was that like? What did you have to go through in that situation?
Okay, that's very easy. Remember I shared with you earlier that I used to witness it would be nothing. Okay, my mom died at 13, so let's go from 13 to 9. It wouldn't be nothing. I grew up in a place called Calvin, a nice neighborhood, middle class black neighborhood. It used to be the largest black middle class neighborhood on the East Coast. It's called Calvin Mountain. And so I could be outside playing baseball with my friends, and it would be nothing to see my dad chasing my mother down the street with a knife, and then just watching my friends watch that, So, and I would watch my dad.
Only child, right?
I'm the only child.
Okay.
See, now I'm experienced. I have great friends on the outside, but when I go in the house, I'm by myself. So now I have a father who will walk down the street, staggeringly drunk, peeing all those, and everybody's seeing this, and I'm dealing with this. And then when we're in the house together, if he's drunk, he'll blast the music. Then he wants to fight my mom, and then so I'm seeing all this stuff. Then she died. Boy, let me give you this. Let me just give you this, okay? When my mom died, they told me that she had a heart attack, right? And it come to find out that my mom died. Later when I was in the Marine Corps, my dad had relocated, and I found out that I found the birth certificate, and I said, "Dad, how did mom die?" She had a heart attack. I said, "This says acute alcohol poisoning." So now this is a pill I had to swallow, right? Acute alcohol poisoning. That meant that my mom drunk herself to death. Now think about the pain that my father must be in from living the lifestyle that he lived, and think about the pain my mom was in because she's married to this man, has to raise this young black man, and trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to keep up with parents. And so this is how she deals. And one day she had to deal so bad that she drunk herself to death.
Wow.
So when she died, now I hate my dad because I blame my dad for that.
Okay.
He didn't kill her, but I blame my dad for that. So now I am a young man who has to live with the man that he hates, and then we moved from the house that we were in, and then we moved into a little project area in the same area. It just went from worse to worse, and guys used to come over my house, love my dad. He was so fun, drank. They could come over there and drink 13, 14, 15. I hated my mom. I hated my father. And so that's how I was living with him. That's how I was living with him. I didn't really come to terms with him. I was in the Arizona prison in 2007. I was in the Arizona prison, and the lady came and told me that my father had died. And I didn't know what to think. I didn't mourn, I didn't grieve. I just sat there, numb because I'm the only child. My mom gone and my dad gone. I hate my dad. I didn't know how to process it, and that was rough, man. I didn't get to see my father. That he's buried in Suffolk, in Veterans Military, a Veterans Memorial Cemetery.
And I was like, even it's like he served his country, and you know, he's done some things. Did Joe ever have that conversation where, you know, he told you about maybe his childhood or why he was the way he was, and maybe something happened to him in the military that he just messed him up?
This is the thing that's so puzzling about my father. My father never talked about anybody in his family. When his mother died, right before there was I have a cousin named Tim that I really ever see on my father's side.
Mm-hmm.
And his mother, I call her my aunt, but she's really my cousin. And she said, I asked her, I said, why is your name Duke? And my name is Dukes. She said, that's your daddy did that. I said, why? I don't know. Nobody knows why, but he did. So I'm like, why would my father what happened in his past that would make him want to separate himself from his family just by putting a letter?
One letter.
You know, that separates him from his family. He never talked about it. Never talked about his family. Never engaged his family. Never wanted to bring him. Never invite him to the house. None of that. So I know he was in pain. Today I understand, because I said I do not want to be like my father, but I end up being worse than my father.
You know, and I want y'all to interject and talk about what he's saying, but I get it, because for the longest time I had for my biological father. He's still alive to this day. We built a relationship, and we're still building it. The issue at that time was it's like I didn't hate him, I despised his behaviors at that time. Times that I can tell you, like I kept calendars. The weekends he was supposed to come get me. All those X's on them calendars, those weeks, he was supposed to show up to come get me. And my mother, my grandmother, my aunt, whoever would take me over to the spot he was to pick him up, call him, I'm on my way, never showed up. Could you imagine the animosity that was building up, the hurt? Every time I'm sitting in the back of a car and looking to see his car pull up, my head turned back and forth like I'm watching a tennis match, looking to see these people, right? Never came. It was just the hope that it just never happened. So when you say that, I had a lot of animosity for him. And it caused a lot of mistrust. It caused a lot of stuff in my life. Very aggressive towards men, was taken advantage a lot by women who knew your story and kind of manipulated things against you. So I had to grow up and learn a lot and move forward from that. But, again, I greatly appreciate you sharing this with people, because I know a lot of people are still going through the same things that we've experienced today.
So what you said right after, right before Chris started talking, can you expand on that just a little bit?
Me?
Yeah.
About what part?
I'm trying to remember, because I know you said, I'm trying to think of what it was, so I know I wanted you to just elaborate a little bit more on what it was, and then I can't.
Something about my father, I think it was. I'm not sure what part you're talking about.
Because I know you talked about him changing his name,
Right.
and then once he changed his name, I'm trying to think what you said after that.
Just imagine the pain that he must have been in to completely separate himself from the family. And then I said that he was buried. He was buried at a veterans military.
Mm-hmm.
Now that when I first went to go see my father in Suffolk at the Veterans Memorial Cemetery, I pulled up because this was kind of bittersweet for me, and I pulled up and I looked at how immaculate the cemetery was, and how beautiful it was, and then the lady just escorted me to where my father was, and I just sat there and had a conversation with my father, and it gave me an appreciation regardless of what I thought, because this is a place of honor. My father served his country, and it was a place of honor. And I think I was saying that I became worse.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, yeah, I became worse because.
And how old were you at that time? How old were you?
When
once he passed, and and things started getting worse. How old were you?
Oh man, that started 14, 15 years old. Yeah, I'm just drinking, just because I had the freedom to do anything.
Okay, so at 14 you started drinking. How old were you when he passed? 13 when your mom passed. 13, 14 you started drinking.
A father passed in 2008,
Okay.
2006 or 7, 8, something like that.
So at that point, that's when it started getting worse.
Oh no.
Before that.
Yeah. See, now I was in prison. I was in prison when my father passed, so I was pretty much into my mess in that particular time. But the worst is, my father, I knew who my father was. I have a son. I have one child. I knew who my father was, but I lived in the same household with my father. My father worked a regular job. He retired off a job. My son did not know who I was. My son has never lived with me. I was in and out of drugs and out of prison. The one thing that I didn't, my father never used hard drugs. I did. I never seen my father go to jail or prison. I did. My father retired from a job. I couldn't keep a job, but I never put my hands on a woman. I always, because I saw that to my mom, so I never done that, but everything else, I was just the worst. And I carried that with me too, because I hated this man, and now I'm worse than him. So now I hate myself. Right. And so that is a harder part of trying to heal, because you hate everything. You hate your life and you hate yourself.
And that's what continued the process of masking. Whenever you got angry, whenever something happened that didn't go the way that you wanted it to happen, the first thing we go back to our comfort zone. We go, whether go pick up the bottle, whatever it was that people do, whether it was heroin or whatever. And so I hear this a lot when people are talking about drugs. That was their way of dealing and coping. They were masking that whole situation. They didn't want to feel that. But trust me, 20 minutes later, a couple hours later, you coming off that high, or you wake up the next morning hurt from drinking all night, and that pain is still there.
So what was your drug of choice?
Alcohol.
Just alcohol.
No, well, that was my drug of choice. Because if I drink, I'm down with everything.
Okay.
If I don't drink, I don't want nothing.
Okay.
That's just me. But once I drink, I'm ready to roll. Like y'all sipping right now. I can do that. Maybe 6 months later, y'all might see me in prison. If I'm blessed enough to be alive.
And because they call that Clinton, they call that a binge drink, a binge drinker, alcoholic, a binge drug user. Like, once you through. But as soon as you had that little bit, it's a party.
It's in clinical terms. It's for those who believe the disease concept of drugs and alcohol. It's called a progression of the disease. You can stop for 10 years and then you pick up and you end up worse than you were before when you left. And so it's very dangerous and it kills. There's the word disease itself is away from ease. DIS is away from and ease. So it's away from ease. Any disease, AIDS, cancer, it's away from ease. It keeps our bodies in function. And this is this thing right here is mental, spiritual, and physical.
Absolutely.
That's why it destroys. And that's why it destroys so many lives, and not just you, but the people that are around you and the people that love you. The people that look to you for guidance and for love and for hope and for comfort and for direction. They can't get that. Right. And it affects the whole community. And
Clinton, one of the things that you mentioned a little bit earlier about, love and relationships. And you talked about why wasn't, now I'm going to tell you, because I'm a guy, and I know women have done the same things. I've had many conversations with women, not that they wanted to cheat or whatever, but there was this something about, they loved that man, but what was it that would keep you seeking the attention of other women or being with other women?
It's selfishness. It's very any time, because that can be an addiction itself. Not necessarily the women, but the attention or the attention from other women, or the desire to try to get attention from another woman, or to get another woman to be interested in you. Just that in itself is selfishness. The desire for drugs and alcohol is based on selfishness. All that stuff is based on selfishness and self-centeredness. We are some of the most selfish people because it's all about us. Regardless of what you see, how your family looks, regardless how you're going on your job, regardless of what you see in the mirror, you still continue to go on because it's all about how I feel. I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to think like this. I don't want you to see me like this. It's all about me.
Now, Sandra, have you experienced anything like that before? Have you had that mindset, or somebody else that you've been with that had that mindset that, you know, you might have gave you 100, gave her everything, and, you know, it just wasn't enough?
I was married 16 years. I gave that SOB everything, and then some. 4 kids. You know, he wanted to do. I don't agree with threesomes and foursomes. Not. Let me retract that, y'all. Don't get upset. It's not that I don't agree with it, but my thing is try that stuff before you get married. Once you are married with 4 kids, then that's just out the window. But yeah, I mean, I gave that man my all, and I was just like, okay, so why are you not satisfied? And you know, he thought the grass was greener on the other side, and he left. 2004, moved in with a man and never looked back. So people are who they are. You know, some people are extremely selfish. Some people will give you the shirt off their back if they feel you need it. I'm that person. I will give you the shirt off my back if I feel you need it more than me. I would love to learn how to be just a little selfish, you know, but I don't know how to be selfish, and it's really frustrating because the men that I've had in my life are extremely selfish. It's just all about them. Me, you know, and I've been in 3 relationships, and all 3 of them have been selfish as crap, and so that's why I'm single now. But it's weird, and you asked me a minute ago, was I okay? I'm listening to him, and it's I can tell you it's a little hard sitting here, just because of my childhood, you know, growing up and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can see it in your face.
Around the alcoholism, and I mean, my stepdad was an alcoholic. The sperm donor was a rapist and a drug addict and an alcoholic, and my grandparents were alcoholics, and so as I sit here, I'm just like, you know. So I mean, I've been there. But the one thing I do want to ask you is, did you ever, at any point, were you ever mad at your mom for not leaving, for not walking out, for allowing him?
Or for being an alcoholic herself.
Yes.
I see. That's the pill I had to swallow, because remember I told you I found the death certificate that said acute alcoholism, because my father's alcoholism was so blunt and so out there that my mom's alcoholism was hidden. We went to church every Sunday. She kept, kept up Jones. She took me out of, my grades were so bad, she took me out of public school, put me in a private school. She always at the PTA meetings, so forth and so on.
So she was a functioning alcoholic.
Right. So I didn't see that, but when it came to now, and I was a little older when I was in the military, and I saw that thing, so I had to come to grips with, my dad still living. I'm living with alcohol, and my mom was alcoholic, and I had to really be. I wouldn't be right here where I am now if I couldn't accept that fact.
Okay.
Cause mom, I love my mom. My mom was clean, but my mom was alcoholic. That don't mean she was a bad person. It just means she had a problem.
Alright, so I see that there's people watching, I see that there's people making comments. Of course, we don't want to not acknowledge, what it is that you're putting in there. Y'all know, if I don't have my laptop in front of me, I can't see all the way over there. So can we address some of the comments, because I see that there are several. And hey to everybody who's looking, if we didn't say hey to you all.
A lot of the comments that were made was just saying that, Eleanor made the comment about, look for the rainbows after the storms. And again, that's kind of expressing the appreciation of being able to come out from where you were. And then that's to say, staying out of Egypt is not going back to where you was previously. And there were a lot of comments saying, some of the ladies in the chat room, were saying that, that they did the best they could and provided as long as they could, until they couldn't do it anymore. Where they knew they weren't appreciated, or what this isn't love. So they had to, move forward and get out of there. there was a lady in the chat room that was saying that my ex-husband was a drug addict, and I watched a lot of people growing up, whether in my family or other people, go through the same things. I couldn't understand it, but on the other end, family or not family, I still sold them drugs. So who was I to judge or look at them in any kind of way when I was the one helping to feed them? So that's something that I had to deal with and get past after I stopped selling drugs. But God had put me in a place and was basically told me, bruh, last week you had a fight with a guy. Two guys tried to shoot you. A bullet whizzed past your ear. You said you was getting out of the game. You took one more last trip to New York City to go cop some cocoa.
Been there, done that.
And came back in a whole hellish story with that. And he was just warning me, like, go ahead one more time and see what happened. And luckily I was able to receive that one last warning and say, you know what, I'm done. I'm stepping away from it. So I am thankful for that in that capacity. And again, sometimes when you get in situations, right, you get out of that situation. Now you feel like you Teflon done. I'm gonna do it again. Oh, I cheated. She forgave me. Like that's giving you permission to do it again. Or I can somehow, whether that was cheating, selling drugs, or doing something, whatever was negative, you with the prison that came out, you always think of a better way you can do it so you won't get caught again. What type of who thinks like that? I don't know. I'm just.
Can I share something?
Yes.
Can we catch these two comments? These last two comments.
Okay. Eleanor says, she says, no matter what we went through, we're standing on a bridge, and troubled waters are always beneath us. Young lady Candy, she said, he's in prison from the drugs, from beating on her, and he also kidnapped her as well. So I know those are some awful things to experience to go through, Candy.
Oh, I know Candy.
Okay.
Hey, Candy.
And so, I'm sorry.
No, it's good. You know what's very important, because regardless, I'm listening to her. My college professor, which is something for me to say because I was sleeping on a bridge and I was able to go to college, eventually. So praise God for that. But she used to say one thing. Everybody hasn't been abused. Everybody hasn't been on drugs. Everybody hasn't been homeless. Everybody hasn't been all these things. But the one thing that all of us can relate to is that we all have experienced pain.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So let me share this with you because my story reveals a lot of pain in my life, and when I talk about it, that's one of the most important tools it is for me because it helps other people to connect with their pain. But just because you connect with it, we got to do something about it. I have some kind of understanding or revelation about it afterwards. So, in 1993, I was incarcerated in a place called Rustburg, and we was working on a road gang. And at the end of the day, we sharpened our axes. And I was sharpening our axe, and you see right here, I have the scar. See that scar? And I was sharpening my axe, and I hit the axe was sharp, and I hit it, and I split my hand wide open. And this is 1993. And at that particular time, my hand could no longer function in the manner that it was created to function. My hand was created for a purpose. My hand could point, grab, whatever the purpose is to help the body function as a whole. My hand could no longer function like that because of the pain that was there. And I believe we are like that. Pain unmanaged can cause us not to function in the manner that we were created to function. It's pain unmanaged. That pain, we can use our pain and grow from it. I'm talking about pain unmanaged, not dealing with my mom's death, not dealing with my father, not dealing, all that stuff unmanaged can cause me not to function. But over time, healing took place. My hand, look, I still can move my hand, my hand can function, and it healed. But even though that took place, I still have a scar.
Still there.
I still have a
reminder.
All right, y'all.
Still have a scar.
This.
Wow.
I still have a scar. So
again, I was like, God, think that's awesome. It helps me to even day by day when things is going on and whatever may happen. I think about your story. I think about my past, where I come from. I think about situated like just the growing of where Les comes from, her, coming from when I first met her, where she was and where she is now. Those are the type of things and stories. This is why I love to hear stories. I love to hear people's testimonies because it helps to keep me strong and know that at the end of the day, there's always, like Eleanor said, there's a rainbow. The next day there's a sunshine. And if you choose to change, you can change. If you choose to grow, you can grow. And sometimes, we just need to learn how to deal with it. Would you be able to tell the viewers if they're dealing with pain or things that they're going through, and they're in a cycle of detriment right now, would you be able to tell them maybe some things that you learned to help coping skills or something that you went through to help them stay on the path?
Oh, absolutely. I shared with you earlier that one of the most important things is, regardless of what the pain, regardless of what the storm is, that you try to, and it's hard sometimes, to try to find the gratitude, and that's hard sometimes, depending on what it is. If you can't do that, the other thing that, especially if you have a relationship with God, then you can have a conversation with God, whatever. But the other thing aside from that is that you have to be willing to have a conversation with somebody. You have to have somebody that you can talk to. You have to be able to have a connection with someone, because we're not created to do this by ourselves. But even though we try to carry all our pain, we try to carry all our guilt, we try to be, because the society tells men, stop shutting up and stop crying. Society has really twisted us up a lot, and just becoming aware and being honest. I'm not talking about goody two shoes telling the truth all the time. I'm talking about being honest about the real thing. I'm gonna tell you what's the most honest thing I've ever heard, and I hold to this day. And I'm for me to be able to say this, it's a person trying to become a less selfish person, to try to become a more selfless person. To say honestly, I'm not always honest.
Mm.
If you can get to that point where you can admit to yourself, okay, I'm not always honest. Then you give yourself a chance, because now you have set a foundation where you can grow. Honestly, I don't care what you're going through. You have to go to that. You have to go back to the foundation. Somebody died in your family. Okay, I gotta be honest about it. I lost my job. I gotta be honest about it. I got this relationship issue. I gotta be honest about it. Once you start that foundation, you can move forward. But we have to be real about how in the world can I get where I'm trying to go if I'm not honest about where I am?
Right. Because you could be dishonest about where you're going, because people talk that talk, and you see them next week, a couple of days later, they're still in the same place, or even worse than they were prior to we had that conversation.
So since you brought up direction, how did you get from 13-year-old drinking, being incarcerated, being homeless? How did you get to degree in human services and substance abuse counseling certification? And let me add this real quick, because sometimes when people deal with certain things, they don't want anything to remind them of where they have been, and so they want to go in a totally different direction, not to be reminded of their past.
And people are gonna have to make that decision based on where they are.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was such a part of prison, and alcohol and drugs was such a consuming part of my life. It was such a part of my life that I couldn't escape it, and so I had to be. It was around every turn. If I go back to Portsmouth, it's there. If I drive down the city, it's there. It's everywhere. My past, my destructive past, is everywhere. Especially at that early stages of trying to be clean. And so, as I said earlier, it just had to be a revelation of using it, not allowing it to become an Egypt, because your past can become an Egypt. So I had to make a decision. Okay, I would no longer be enslaved to my past. I would no longer allow my past to dictate who I am. I would allow my character, and I would allow what I do and my purpose, and I allow those things to dictate who I am, not my past. That is what I did. That is not who I am.
Absolutely.
You know, and but I had to allow myself to get to that point, because even though I could talk all that good stuff, okay, the bill gotta be paid. Okay, you ain't got no job. So it's when those storms come up in life that you gotta make a decision. Because oh yes, I still want to do that. Okay, but what you gonna do today? Because today you're going through this and you're dealing with these feelings today. So what you gonna do today? You know.
So you wrote. Now I haven't seen the book. I haven't read the book. Today is like really the first time I'm hearing about the book, other than going over your bio. And so just an example. Like I've written 2 books, and so with one of the books, it took me like a really really long time to write that book, because so much of my life was right there, and it was like, I'm not ready to put that out there. I'm not ready to deal with those feelings. How did you get to the point where you were ready to write that book? Is it similar to going after your degree and getting a substance abuse counseling certification?
Honestly, many times when in prison, I'm one of those guys, when I get locked up, I'm institutionalized. So I could be 130 pounds, 3 shades darker, and no haircut for days, and I can get locked up. And the very next day, my mind clicks to exercise, playing chess, reading the Bible, and preaching. I'm a jailhouse preacher, So all these guys, I gather around all these guys, and we get talking. They go out and become better. I get out, come back in 6 months. That's just how it is. But I was always able to see certain things, even because my mind was clear and I was trying to focus on my spirituality. So I could always see myself in going to school. I knew I'm kind of an intelligent guy, very bright. I like to read. I like to study. I like to be able to have a conversation about anything. Let's talk about politics. Let's talk about religion. Let's talk about music. Let's talk about. I like that. That doesn't make me right. That's just what I like to do. I like to have a conversation about it. So, but I was always able to see myself doing certain things. The guys would come in to talk to us in jail. I saw me doing that. Guys come in. There's a book called "Make You Want to Holler" by Nathan McCall. You heard about that? Yeah, he's from Portsmouth. And I was reading his book. It was so inspiring. And I said, man, I could do that. And I got something to write. I got something to write about. But my life had to get to a certain point where where would I end this? Because there were many times in my life I said I need to write a book, but I couldn't end it there. I couldn't end it there. So I found a place after I graduated. I ended it after I graduated, which was on Mother's Day. The significance of my mom. I graduated college on Mother's Day. My birthday is May the 12th. Mother's Day was May the 14th. Mother's Day, my birthday was Friday. Mother's Day was Sunday, and I graduated that Sunday. So that was pretty big for me.
So when did you start writing the book? What year was? Do you remember?
This is 2020. I think I started 16.
Okay.
I was 16.
Okay.
And it was just a lot of. There was a part in my book which I didn't want to deal with. May I elaborate on?
Oh, absolutely. Speak.
Oh boy. Okay. My mom's death is rough. My mom's death is rough, but this is a rough one too.
Okay.
All right. So, I told you that my mom passed when I was 30. My dad moved to this little area that was kind of rough. So I found out that I had some other family members there that was on outside of my family, and they was like, this lady, she said, I'm your cousin. I said, no, what you mean? Well, I'm related to your sister. Now, I'm a child, huh?
Like
Yeah,
sister.
Yeah, sister.
Wow.
So I found out that I had a sister, and she had mental illness. She used to walk around the streets and all the time, and my nickname's Tubby. And sometimes I walk past, she say, "Hey, Tubby," and just keep walking. I'm like, she know me, So once everybody then found out she had a son, which was my nephew, and so we lived in the same area, and we kind of hit it off. And then she started coming over to my house, and her and my dad would sit and drink, and then I would come in from doing my thing and just look at them, and I was like, hey, I don't want to say her name. She was like, hey, she was like, hey, Daddy, and then that's my family now. That's my family, okay? So one day, I come home from one of my little drunken running days, and I pushed the door open, and which was nothing new because my father stayed drunk all the time. The door could easily been open because the Lord just let him be in the bed, sleep, safe. Because I mean, I had many days like that. Lord just let him be in the bed, sleep. So I pushed the door open, I walked around into the bed, and I looked, and my father was in the bedroom, but he was having sex with his daughter. Yeah. So
Interesting reading.
now I'm looking at that, and I guess I'm about 16, 17 years old. So I'm looking at that, and I go back out. You okay? I go back out and go back to my, and I never spoke a word of that again. I never spoke a word of that again until I wrote the book. Until I wrote the book, you know. It's about healing. Man. It's about healing, and you know, that was a rough thing. It was a rough thing, and it's very hard. And many people go through stuff. Many people go through stuff like that. We live in a society we don't want to talk. Our culture, you know, we have certain things we don't want to talk about. But healing is possible.
Yes, it is.
Never allow your past to be a punish. Never allow your past to be a punish. Now, I'm an open book. I talk about a lot of stuff, but everybody not like that.
Everybody can't.
That's not for everybody. That was how I healed. That was how I healed.
And I think, you know, I would say this, and then I'm gonna say something else as well.
And then read the book.
I had.
Well, no, I mean, I lived it. My dad raped me, so that right there just fucked me all the way up. So, and I was 15, so yeah, that just, that sucks.
Yeah.
Have you talked to her since?
No, I have no.
So nobody has no idea how she's
I don't even know if she's alive. In the process of writing this book, you know, because I tried to communicate with certain people and they wouldn't. That's why those are the only groups of people that I didn't use names. I said this because she was somebody's mom, you know.
Yeah,
when this book comes out, people gonna know.
Oh, the book's not out yet.
That's not
Okay.
out yet.
Okay.
We're working on that, right?
Absolutely.
Right, we're working on that. And this is Mr. Chris is my publisher.
Hey!
He was a big blessing in helping me to get this process done. I'm really grateful for what you did, brother. I'm really grateful for you taking the task on and helping me out with that and giving me direction and pointing me in the right direction and encouraging me along the way.
Absolutely. And that's tough as well. Anybody who writes a book and moving forward with it, it's not the most easiest task.
Especially when it's personal.
That's why I
Especially when
did.
it's personal.
Yeah.
What did is that Eleanor?
Yeah.
Hey ACH, I miss you, Eleanor.
And I was getting ready to say, I was like, would you like to share? But I was like, before I had to say, he was like, boom.
Well, and I normally, you know, I try not to talk about it, you know, but I mean, my followers have heard a little bit about it, and everybody keeps saying, when's your book coming out? I'm like, yeah.
Is he still alive?
I don't know where that SOB is, but if I ever see him, he won't be alive, so.
And for me, growing up, poetry, writing was my best form of, I was able to be able to transfer what I was going through onto that paper. And every once in a while I would go back and I would look at what I was writing, hence, you know, my book, Open Wounds. And I saw my growth from experiencing racism to, my second book is gonna talk about molestation and some other things that happened when I was younger from an older woman that was in the family. And just things of that nature is gonna talk about, it's gonna get into some really ugly things. The first one was, some of it was ugly, but it's kind of but now we're gonna get into deep-rooted stuff that's gonna be put out, gonna come out. But that was just my form of being able to heal and talk about, being able to talk. More I was able to talk about it, the easier it became. It's like something was leaving. I didn't internalize it anymore.
Can we capture those comments?
Sure. Eleanor said, she said, I can be inspirational to others and I can make people laugh, but no one sees the real me behind the mask. She says, I'm my own worst critic. And Eleanor, that's one of the things that I've experienced growing up a lot. I was my own worst critic, and I carried a lot for a long time. But if we don't judge and criticize ourselves as much, or at least learn from our lesson and keep it moving, it'll stop us from internalizing a lot of those things. And then the things that you internalize, you project them on other people as well, whether you think that you're not. And sometimes when you're all in your head all the time, situations and things may happen, but your perception is kind of warped or twisted about the real reality of the whole situation. It may not be what you think. It may not be what you thought. So I was like, that's what I'm just going to say about that aspect of it. Our second comment, Candy was just saying that she said, amazing, amazing, amazing. She says, Clinton, I'm so proud of you for sharing your story. You're a huge inspiration to so many people. Life challenges made you the man who you are today. And she says, I love that you were my friend. So I was like, that's wonderful, and that's a testimony in itself.
And welcome to whoever it is that just joined. I can't see over here.
And you know, it was really brave, and I took a lot of courage to even speak about some of these things. I'm just saying that for you as well, because it's hard to reveal and talk about those type of things. And sometimes we think people are going to look at you different, they're going to judge you, going to do this and that and the third. But again, this is stuff that needs to be talked about. It's stuff that your healing will come from getting it out of your system. It won't be so painful every day that you carry it.
And not only that, but something I've learned within the Black community is that we sweep everything under the rug. Nobody wants to talk about it. When the stuff happened with my dad, I mean, I was blamed for that. His mother, my grandmother, was like, well, if you wouldn't have been wearing shorts, he wouldn't have raped you. Excuse me?
Wow.
I'm 15, ho. How about you, fix whatever's wrong with your screwed up son? But it was swept under the rug. And the only reason, that's why I asked you earlier if you resented your mother, because I hate my mother, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when that happened to me, my aunt came to the hospital. They had me in an induced coma because for 6 hours I fought for my life. He raped, beat me, sodomized, whole 9 yards. He came in the rooms, the house, you had to have a key to get in and out. He swallows the key, so I already knew. He was like, I don't look at you as my daughter, because I didn't grow up with him. I met him later on in life. But when I was in the hospital, I couldn't talk, I couldn't move, but I could hear. And my aunt came in and she looked at my mom and was like, why did you let her move in with him? You knew how he was. Well, she wasn't gonna listen to me. She had to find out the hard way. Bitch, what? So you set me up for failure. You knew he was a rapist because he had already raped my aunt over a $10 bag of weed because she was $2 short, knocked her up. My mom took her to get the abortion, and then you set me up. So, may they both burn in hell very quickly. But, one thing that, and I do it on Black Connections, I give them a little bit, but not a lot. Just because, one, I always feel nobody wants to hear my story, so I don't ever talk about it. That's why I haven't wrote a book. They've been telling me to write a book since I was a kid.
But you know what, Sandra, real quick? You may not think that somebody wants to hear your story, but when you share your story and they see how you overcome and the things that you do and how you continue to push forward, that helps the person that may be dealing with the same situation.
Right, and I get that. I do.
But it's hard though. When you've gone through something, it's hard to really put that out there to people.
Yeah. And that's why you guys have all wrote books and you guys have all, put something out there, and I just want to thank you, because that is one thing that our community, Black community, white community, because the white side of my family, they got all kinds of incest going on, and I'm just like, what is wrong with you people? So I want to thank you guys for taking that step to talk about the hard things, because there are a lot of people in our community, and I've learned that with, you know, with Black Connections, just me putting a little bit here and there. There are so many people in pain. There are so many people that things have happened to them as a child that nobody even knows it has happened to them. When I first mentioned that I had been raped by my dad on one of the lives, so many, I mean, it just lit up. So many were talking about, don't leave out moms, don't leave out stepdads, don't leave out uncles. Let me tell you, it fucking broke my heart, because there were so many, my platform is all Black. So it was so many Black people that were just, and they said, nobody even knows, this is the first time I've even spoke about it. And I'm just like, look, you know, our community really needs to stop the dumb shit. The people that are molesting and things, just please just stop. I mean, I beg you to just stop. Stop hurting people, because unfortunately, we have to live the rest of our lives with this, and it doesn't fucking go away. It just doesn't. There's certain places I can go. I can smell them. It's affected my relationships. I mean, it fucking sucks. So for anybody that has ever gone through anything, man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that your family was so jacked up and did fucked up shit to you. I really am very sorry, and I wish I could change it, because it sucks. It just sucks. It really does. But anybody that has wrote a book, anybody that's watching that has wrote a book and you've literally talked about it, man, I have nothing but respect for you. I have nothing but respect for you, and I've just met you tonight. You know, but I just really appreciate everybody that speaks up and is not scared, you know, for the backlash that you may get from friends or family or even strangers.
Let me tell you something, Sandra. When you get to the point where you're ready to tell your story, or you're ready to talk about what you've gone through, when you're at that point, the backlash doesn't matter anymore, because you're just so relieved to get it out. And not even for people to relate to you, but to be able to get it out your system and say, I dealt with this, this is what I've gone through, this is part of my past, I'm moving forward. So again, and I'm not saying you gotta go out here and write tomorrow and don't let anybody question you.
It's a process.
I know.
But you have to get to that, you have to get to that point. You have to get to that point where you're feeling like, I'm ready to tell my story. And your story isn't necessarily writing a book. Your story could be, you just told, and me and you have had deep conversations. Some of the things that you said tonight, you shared with me, but some you didn't. So your story isn't always putting it on paper and selling it. Sometimes your story is sitting in a room with two people, with one person saying, damn, you know, this is what this is what I went through. Or being on a live and you know I hate this word transparent, but being transparent, you know, and sharing your story with somebody else, or having that one-on-one with somebody who's going through the same thing that you've gone through. They don't have anybody to talk to, but here you are, that light, that beacon of light, and they can relate to you, and they can talk to you, and they can ask you, well, how do I get through this? So again, your story isn't always writing a book. You tell your story in different ways.
You know, there's in our community, I'm talking about society, not just Black, but society in general, you know, we get together and councilmen, clergy, business leaders, legislators, to get together and, okay, let's try to find out how we can deal with drug abuse, how can we deal with homelessness, how can we deal with crime, how can we deal with sexual abuse, how can we deal with all these things. And that's fine, and that's needed. But I'm gonna tell you, there is something about an individual who has you wanna deal with crime? Okay, the individual who has came out of prison, who does no longer do crime. No, let's not use that. Let's talk about the sexual abuse. An individual who has been through that and has overcame that and is living her life like that, and then uses that as a tool to help others. That is the most powerful.
Yes.
And I have found out in my life that the stuff that I've been through and how I use it now, it is not only something that I desire to do, but I have found that it is a responsibility. I'm only blessed to be a blessing to someone else. That's the only reason I'm blessed, is to responsibility. You have overcame tremendous odds, and you still here. And you still here, and you productive, and you're adding to the community. You're being meaningful. That is a responsibility. That's a powerful responsibility. That's why I do what I do. Many occasions I don't get paid for that stuff. I just started getting paid for a facilitator job, but I don't get paid for that. It's for me. It's for my peace.
Yeah.
And it helps people. When I started talking about, let me tell you, and I'm sorry because I told y'all at the beginning, I'm a pain magnet because I share pain and I connect to people's pain and then people bring it out. Man, I had grown men crying in these rooms. And the first thing I talk about, let me tell you about my mom. When I tell them about that and how my mom died and the pain, grown men crying because people in pain. And we are living with pain and we are trying to live, we're trying to manage, we're trying to get through, and some of us do better than others.
Right.
Some of us
And
don't.
deal with it in different ways.
Right.
Yeah.
Can we share the comments, Chris? I see a bunch of them just scrolling.
Let me go back to this one. And again, there's a comment that was going out to Clinton that was saying that we're so proud of you, Clinton. There was a comment saying that what Sandra experienced. They were saying my heart goes out to you because
Thank you,
again,
Eleanor.
it's
Appreciate you.
and I'm pretty sure a lot more people wanted to say or put more about it, but again, some people are not in that place to actually share or do that. They want to say it,
and they feeling it themselves,
right?
Because they have their own experience.
Yeah.
So again, this is I'm floored over here right now.
I'm sorry, y'all.
And
No,
then
That's what I do.
It's all right. I was supposed to be just sitting on the couch in the other room.
Eleanor says, I mentioned the bridge and the troubled water underneath, but there's a big rock in that water which represents the past. It's always there. Then, Eleanor, where's your book at? Because you be saying some stuff.
Exactly.
You are, it seems like you are a writer or a poet by nature, because some of the things that you say, it's a good analogies, and I feel that, I connect with that. So, again, do that. And I can't wait for you to.
You're going to be my editor and all that good stuff. Yeah.
I'll rock with you.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
will rock with you.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Absolutely. So with that being said, Clinton, I would like for you to just say a few words about your Stay Out of Egypt Foundation and your Tubby D's fundraiser toy drive.
Okay, well, this is my vision for my Out of Egypt Foundation. I would love to have a vehicle where I could go in to the prisons, recovery facilities, jails, to do groups, motivational speaking, to invite people with a similar story, similar past, to allow them to come in and eventually possibly provide financial means for them. Because there are many people who have stories like me.
Right.
So in that aspect, and to help out with incarcerations of drugs, the Youth Foundation. I'm a big Marvel Comics fan.
Yeah.
One of the things that kept me sane when I was growing, my mom's death was Spider-Man.
Oh. Yeah.
So every once in a while I have the opportunity, I dress up as Spider-Man and I collect toys and I give them to kids and take pictures and if I have the opportunity to give a little motivational speech at places like the Hope Fest, but I'm not sure if we'll do it this year. Hope Fest with Pastor James Watkins. I want to say it right. Wilkins, Pastor James Wilkins, Nehemiah Foundation. Sorry, brother. Yeah, so things like that. I go to Chuck E. Cheese. I might pop up to Chuck E. Cheese every once in a while. Just walk through Spider-Man on birthday. Or somebody might come up for a birthday. They want to charge it, and I said, okay, give me this amount of money. Then I do the Spider-Man. And I said, don't worry about it. Because for me, I remember being that child, and I'm gonna tell you, there is no greater joy that I get than when I come out as Spider-Man and to see a kid's eyes for the first time when they see Spider-Man. Everybody knows Spider-Man.
Yes,
Everybody knows
absolutely.
I need my son to language. He loves that stuff. He those really expensive.
Yeah. So when those movies come out,
I'll be there.
Yeah, that's my thing. So I'm kind of like in a bad mood now because there hasn't been one out in a know why. So, but I'm dealing. So those are, just some of the things I'm grateful to be able to go to some of the prisons, some of the jails and recovery facilities. I'm just thankful for the opportunity to be able to use, once again, just the gift and the opportunity to be able to use all of that pain and all of that destruction as a tool to help somebody else. And I want to share this. I want to share this to the audience because even y'all know somebody that's been going through something, or you might be going through something yourself. I had dug such a big hole. I want to use the example of trying to get a driver's license. It took me. Somebody might be able to go to get a driver's license. You might pay $30, $40 to get a driver's license. It cost me $3,000.
Holy crap!
To get my driver's license because of the hole that I dug from in and out of jail, not paying fines and stuff like that, being negligent and all that stuff. So I dug a huge hole. But today I have my driver's license. Nice. But one of the things that I had, regardless of the hole that I had to come out of, I had to start looking at everybody else's situation, and I had to stop digging. You gotta stop digging.
That accountability.
You got to stop digging. Whatever it is, just stop. Just stop. There's a better way. It's gonna be hard, but you got help. Allow somebody to help you. Take some suggestions. Make some phone calls. Get with some other people. It's gonna be hard, but you can do it. Look, this is this dude right here that used to sleep under bridges, eat out of trash cans, eat in and out of jails, in and out of prisons, hopelessness, despair, the whole 9 yards. And today there's a level of peace in my life that I never had before, and all of it is because of using that stuff that I used to do to help somebody else today.
Wow.
So
that's something.
Now, when does your book come out?
Let's ask the publisher.
Somebody,
Well,
my bad. Somebody asked earlier, that's why.
Actually, as of, I'm going to say Thursday morning, and I'm going to put the website and everything, I'm going to put all the content information in there. I want y'all to take that information, put it in the store Thursday morning, everything. He's going to be on Amazon, and he's also going to be on some other platforms as well. He has his own website. I'll give you that information. You can order the book from there as well. And again, y'all have to read this story. You have to read it. It's gonna make you laugh.
It's definitely gonna make you cry.
You're gonna cry.
And parts of it you're gonna be in wonder, because you be like, how in the hell did you get here? And again, it's about perseverance. It's about growing. And it's about learning how to deal with your pain. How to stay out of it. And I just think even with how he came about the concept, to me was just incredible from the door. When he first started telling me about the book, out of Egypt, and he took the Israelites they were hard bondage and imprisonment in Egypt, and with them coming out, all the things that they, most importantly, how they got there. Just that whole story in itself, if they had to listen to the principles that was given prior to them going into bondage, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Who knows? But maybe, sometimes we get in situations to teach us a lesson to move forward, how to live in life if you don't follow these specific instructions or things that was given to us to keep us whole and not be in dis-ease, as he explained a little bit earlier this evening. Again, y'all, you have to get this story. I don't care if you order the ebook. I don't care if you order the book, get the book.
Make sure you give me a write-up so I can post it Thursday, so we can blast it all over all my social media pages.
Oh, got you.
Have a lot of crying.
Thank you so much.
That's
Yeah.
all right. Look, if I gotta cry, everybody
So
crying.
here's what we getting ready to do. Cause y'all know me, after a certain time, I'm gonna shut it down. So this is what we getting ready to do.
I don't know about 50, I don't know.
I know.
We are going to share our final thoughts, and I just had a great idea. For the month of June, the goal is to have that as our Authors Month. And of course, me and Chris are going to be featured first. But throughout the month of June, we like to have authors come on. We love to bring you back because that time, by that time the book is going to be out. We love to have you back as a guest. You can promote the book. You want to give EDP EDP365 view was some kind of little promo for checking you out.
That's right.
And so we love to have you back for the month of June when we do our Authors Month. And so we're gonna allow our guests, unless that was your final thought before, we're gonna allow our guests to give his final thought. Then we'll let our ACH give her thoughts, and then Chris and I will share our thoughts, and then we'll close everything out.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for allowing me the opportunity to come out. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Thank you for
pleasure,
being here.
Thank you for coming.
pleasure
This
meeting
has
you,
been amazing.
and allowing me the opportunity to share some things. I just wanted to just tell everybody, just don't allow circumstances to define you. You define your circumstances.
Amen.
That's all I want to say.
Sam.
Oh, it's me.
You're one of the ACHs?
I just want to say, if you have been through any type of trauma, just talk about it. I don't care if you talk about it with one person or you get in a group of people and talk about it. My @ on IG is @BlackConnections. If you want to hit my DM and we can have a whole talk, cry, bitch fest, whatever. My phone number is 434-774-9882. Call me, text me. I mean, I don't like being in front of cameras. Here lately, I've been in front of a lot of them, but I just want, I hate y'all so much. I just want us to get better. You know, I just want us to try to heal. And I just want you guys to know, I don't care what you've been through, whether it's drugs, alcohol, molestation, whatever. You're not alone, because there's a whole panel of people up here that have been through stuff, and other people that you go to school with, you go to work with, your other family members. Everybody's been through something, that has caused them some form of trauma. So just reach out, and whatever you say to me is confidential, and same thing with the rest of the panel. It doesn't leave between you two, but don't keep it bottled up. I'm that person that has kept it bottled up for so long. I mean, I spoke to people about it, but they were the wrong people.
Right.
Make sure you speak to the right person who actually wants to just listen and not judge you. No judgment with me. That's not my job. My job is to just listen. So anybody, out there that is going through some shit and nobody knows about it, we're here. So definitely, please talk about it.
My final thought for this evening, ladies and gentlemen, viewers on both platforms this evening. In the midst of your storms, find something that you love to do. I don't care if you like riding bikes, you like taking walks in nature, you like myself, I do poetry, I like shooting pool, I like bowling. I do things that are conducive to being able for me to be stable on that platform. So whatever that is for you, coloring in a book, taking a nap, whatever that is, do some of those things to keep you in a level place to deal with what you're going through at that point in time. Because a lot of times, a lot of people don't think about that. I have a platform that I use a lot of, and it's amazing to me that I'm a male and I come out with these platforms. Paint Past Your Pain platform that I use, where we use art and conversation to have people to be able to talk about their issue. I would talk about my issues and things that I've gone through, and just being able to do that transparency will connect with them, and they'll be a lot more at ease and better at being able to talk about what they're going through and get some of that out of the system. Whether that day we would draw, we would do poetry, we would do something for the release of what you're holding inside, because it will corrupt you from the inside out. And as long as I always say, be careful be careful of your actions, because there's always a mirror on the other side. Because what you put out and project is going to come back to you. So with that being said, you have to change your story, change your perception, change your heart, change your mind, and you'll heal over time.
All right, so my final thought is just to ask you to do something. when you talk to these young ladies, when you talk to these men who are incarcerated, can you encourage them to use their situation, their past, their experience, one, to educate other people that are going through the same thing or are on the verge of getting ready to go through the same thing? And can you teach them to use their situation as a stream of income? Because that's important. I try to tell the ladies that I work with all the time, you can use this. You talk about you can't get a job, it's going to be hard. Use your story as a platform to create streams of income.
Exactly.
And they don't understand that.
Exactly.
All right, Chris.
All right, so with that being said, we're going to move on to the next segment. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have Mr. Jermaine Johnson. He is our health expert to the show for next week. He has an incredible story, just talking about where he came from, where he wasn't expected to live, where he had many physical problems, things going on with his body, internally, externally, and when he started doing research and learning about foods, about things that God made naturally here on this earth to put in our bodies to heal, and that pharmacy, doctors are not always the answer to your issues. As Clinton said a little bit earlier, you talk about dis-ease. Some of the things that we eat can on a consistent basis cause our bodies dis-ease. And sometimes you're born with certain things, even with autism and things of that nature. If you change your diet, it will change those symptoms and things going on in your body. So we're going to have Jermaine on the show next week, Jermaine Johnson, right here, EDP365 on Facebook Live, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Any announcements, Liz?
All right, so I didn't know that El Bravador was looking. Hey, El Bravador, hope you're feeling better. Hope you are resting, sir. You're a workaholic, so I hope you're at home resting, enjoying your grandbabies, enjoying your wife, enjoying your family. But of course, you know, we love to see you when you're on Facebook Live. Eleanor, yeah, that damn Eleanor. You said that damn Eleanor, that damn Eleanor. And I'm giving up cursing for Lent, so stop making me curse. All right,
Just for Lent?
Just for Lent. I like sentence enhancers. Sentence enhancers, y'all. All right, so real quick, don't forget about post number 2, spray and go. Here we go, y'all. Spray and go so no one knows. Everyone poops, no one likes to smell it. $3 a bottle, 15 milliliter bottles. It's a great product. Make sure you get you some. Join all of my groups, EDP365, which is an extension of the show. Meet, Connect, Promote, where you can promote what you do. Authors in a co-op, this is where you need to be. Get in that group. Richmond events and vendors. If you got an event coming up, make sure you post your events. Gino, my Girls Night Out group. Ladies, post your information there. Talk about what you're doing. Talk about what's going on. So other ladies will know what they can do for their Girls Night Out. I sell. If you have a product or service that you are selling, post your information there. You may not want to vend. You may just want to tell people what you're doing. If you all have any topics that you want to share, reach out to me or Chris, and we will get you on the show. Also, Sandra has put something really great out there where we're going to be connecting more, and so share your information with Sandra as well for any topics that you want to see, because we're going to be collaborating, doing some things going forward as we continue to help each other grow. Real Women of RVA, new episode every week. You can go to Wobble TV. Now, a monthly subscription is $7.99. If you want to binge watch for one day, it's $3.99. Go and check that out. It's on Wobble TV. Again, Real Women of RVA. You can also go to YouTube TV to check out Real Women of RVA. Those are going.
Go check it out, y'all. I love it.
Now, if you still have not gotten your taxes done, I got the perfect guy for you. Derek Hall. I love this guy. He is so amazing. I love him. He's just wonderful. He is my tax preparer. The name of his business is DLH Solutions. He's at 530 East Main Street here in Richmond, Virginia. His telephone number is 303-8105, 303-8105, DLHtaxandbookkeeping.com. He has convenient weekend hours, friendly and professional, no waiting in the lobby. You're not sitting there hours waiting to get your taxes done. He takes appointments. You can send your stuff online, and he's very knowledgeable. Like I said, I've had somebody who did her own taxes for years. She's very particular about who she lets have access to her money. She loved him. My mom has been going to someone else for years. My mom loved him. I loved him. So again, y'all, for several years I had to pay the state back. Since I have been going to Derek, I have not had to pay state taxes. I have gotten a refund every year since I have been working with Derek. So again, let's reach out. Can you promote him on Black Connection?
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, so again, let's continue to support each other and girl. Oh, and shout out to my APs, Stacy G and Letitia Melton, and to the whole EBO family. All right, I'm done, Chris.
And again, I want to say shout out to EBO, all the members. Thank you, Carr, for becoming our Sergeant at Arms. I think you would do well in that position. Thank you, Stacy, and thank you, Tyra, for a well job for being the coordinator and the secretary that we have for us right now. All those jobs are greatly needed. And again, welcome back, Betty, and everybody else from EDP365. Again, we love you.
Ooh, one more thing. Big shout out to what's her name? Kara Plastic. She came in. She did a presentation. EBO thought you were great. You did a great presentation. We greatly appreciate you coming out, giving us that presentation. The team walked away with tons of information. So thank you for coming out and doing that presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Presley. And again, from Team EDP365, without any more interruptions, are you living destructively or are you living constructively? You only have one life. Make it count. Do the right thing.
Oh.
So, with that being said,
And hold up. Happy birthday, Kuna!
Oh, yes, it is her birthday.
we out. Peace. I love y'all.